Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be talking about how you can get paid and remote internships in 2025. So my name's Christine, and I've been doing social media, content creating, becoming a social media intern, assistant, all those things for the past 4 years now. So I have some experience getting paid and remote internships, and I've actually kept paid remote internships all throughout my college career so far. Considering I'm a junior in college, I started getting paid remote internships when I was actually a senior in high school, and I've just continued ever since then. So step one is actually picking what type of internship you actually want in 2025. For me personally, all of the recent internships that I've had so far have been marketing or digital communication related. So I do have a lot of specific internship tips for that type of niche and job and industry. So if you actually want more specific internship tips for that industry, I can actually do that. But the first step is obviously to pick the niche that you actually want to get an internship in. So after you have determined that, you can actually start to look at where to look for these internships. So this is actually step two, where to look. So I'm going to do my top 5 favorite sites to look for internships. Starting with number one is Indeed. My favorite one is Indeed for sure. I think that it does really great in their algorithm and seeing what you search for in the beginning. So I think that it's so easy to quickly apply to so many jobs all in one sitting using Indeed because they have their easy apply option where you literally already have your resume on the website, you have all your questions. I just think that it's a really great website to look for internships. My second one is definitely LinkedIn. If you're looking for internships, you should definitely set up a LinkedIn profile. Me personally, I do have a LinkedIn profile set up. I don't even post on there. I literally just update it every now and then when I have a new internship. Looking to apply for internships, I do think that LinkedIn is a great site because a lot of larger companies, Uber, Disney, all those companies that are looking for interns, they're definitely going to be posting their internships on LinkedIn. And my third favorite place to look is definitely Handshake. Now, Handshake is a site that's usually connected to your school, and basically, these companies that are looking for interns will go through and give these schools a list of internships that you could possibly look for. The reason why I really like Handshake is because it's really cohesive and it's really simple. It's very similar to the format, I believe, of LinkedIn and Indeed, so it's really easy to use. I think, though, what's great about Handshake is that it's really great for people who are looking for something local. So I do think that networking on there and also directly messaging recruiters is really good. The fourth one is not necessarily a website, but it kind of is. So the fourth one is literally just looking on Google and typing in internships. Google has like an internship job thing, where you can look for jobs directly from Google, and I feel like that's just a really simple way of doing it. And I think it's a pretty much a fail safe if you can't seem to find it anywhere else. Number five, it definitely has to be career websites. If you want to go and you want to get an internship, let's say at Ford, like the car company, go to Ford, go down to their career section, or it might be in their about section on their website, check if they have entry-level jobs or internships, and directly apply for internships on the community website. Especially if you're applying to somewhere, especially like on Indeed, if you feel like it's kind of shady, the job, go to that company's actual career website, go to careers and see if they have internships. Let's say I was like on DoorDash about to order food. I've been literally curious. I've been on my computer ordering DoorDash. I'll go down to their career section. Oh, what do you know? They're hiring interns. And I literally just apply for an internship on random websites. Now, the third step is to create a resume that stands out. Now, this might be a little bit hard for people who don't have experience or just little to no experience, or let's say you do have experience in one area, but it may not be totally useful in another area. So let's break this down real quick. So essentially, you still want to highlight transferable skills, even if it's unrelated to that specific internship or job. So for instance, right, let's say in your last job, you used Slack to communicate with your whole team, or you used HubSpot to do ads, or you used Monday, or you used Notion. Those are still considered transferable skills because those are project management systems that can be used in other companies. So let's say you want to apply for a marketing internship, but you only have experience in retail jobs. That's still transferable skills because you know a thing or two about customer service, how to keep customers happy, how to communicate with customers. That's a great way to showcase that you know a thing or two about communicating to a direct customer basis, which you can definitely explain more in your cover letter as well as other parts of your application too. I believe this is step number 4, but it's the actual application process. This is definitely the most timely process of this entire thing. The application takes a while. Now, what's great about brand new or like newer application processes is what they do is all you have to do is upload your resume into their system when you're applying, and then it autofills all your resume. Now, be careful with this step because even though it does autofill from your resume, usually that autofill does not get everything right. So what I like to do is I have a separate like Google Doc of all the jobs that I have, including the description, just in case if when it autofills into the application, it doesn't get any of them right. I just go into that Google Doc, copy and paste it. It's a little bit timely, but it works. So essentially, you're just going to answer all of the questions that they're asking you, obviously, honestly. So it's going to ask you, are you a US citizen? Are you here on a student visa? Are you going to require sponsorship to do this internship? You know, they might even ask you what type of compensation are you looking for this internship? And especially for remote internships specifically, they'll ask you, will you be able to do this internship remotely without any help? You know, will you be able to sit down for hours at a time? And will you be able to have a quiet room with stable Wi-Fi, essentially, for the duration of the internship and things like that? Because not all internships, especially remote internships, some of them don't have like technology stipends or they won't provide you technology. So I've actually been provided technology from a company, I believe 3 times, and they actually will like send a laptop to my dorm, and that's just what I'll use during the school year to do my remote internship. But it will make sense that you already have a computer set up somewhere. But I still suggest that you have a personal computer. And let's say that you feel like you need a work computer, ask your company, say, hey, is there a way that I can either get a technology stipend, or is there a way that you can actually send a company stipend? Another thing about applying to internships, specifically paid remote internships, is not applying to non-paid internships. Sometimes it's very, very clear in the job description whether or not they're actually going to pay the internships. That's why I feel like, especially for job descriptions, they usually just put their own rate automatically, or they'll say something at least remotely about compensation. The ones that don't say anything about compensation, don't say that it's paid, don't say whatever, I just skip right over those. I don't even look at them. I skip right over those. If it says, oh, this is a volunteer position, oh, this is non-paid, I just simply skip over those and I just apply strictly to the paid remote internships. Now, in the very beginning, with that being said, I didn't really care too much about the level of compensation, especially because I knew that I did not have any experience. So I was applying to jobs that were literally paying their interns. The federal minimum wage was like $7 an hour. Now, the first internship that I ever got that was paid, it was $14.75 an hour, which is I thought was not bad, especially because I didn't have any experience in an internship, and also because it was remote and I barely did anything except make content. So it wasn't that bad. And obviously, you can always use ChatGPT to brainstorm some ideas, but I caution you, especially for internships, and also if you're going to be doing any sort of writing for these internships, do not heavily rely on AI in general, especially like ChatGPT and stuff, because some of these companies, they'll literally put your cover letter, your resume, your writing, they'll put it through an AI detector to see if you actually did that stuff. So take at least like one day to write your own resume, write your own cover letter, write your writing sample. And next, again, I have no idea what step we're on. But so for this step, we're going to be talking about virtual interviews. So this part is probably the most intimidating part of this entire process, and that is a virtual interview. Now, virtual interviews for me are not as bad. I'm still like a little bit nervous. Like I'm not gonna say I'm not nervous going into an interview, but I just think about what if I was doing this interview in person? I'd probably be a lot more nervous and stumble a lot more in my words. Like you're in the comfort of your home or your dorm, you're in the comfort of your own space rather. You don't have to worry about, someone like face to face. So I feel like there's a little bit, definitely a bit more ease. And I think you should all think about that, especially if you're doing a virtual interview, is to think, just be a little bit more calm, more chill, because it could be a lot worse. This is probably my most important tip for this entire step. Give yourself time before the interview. Give yourself time before the interview. You have no idea what technology will do that day during that specific time. Trust me, like 10 minutes before an interview, I've had my computer literally just shut off and I wasn't able to turn it back on and it decided to update platform you're using. And also make sure you're able to log into whatever platform you're doing an interview on. I've done interviews on Google Meets. I've done interviews on Slack. I've done interviews on Zoom. I've done interviews on Teams. I've done interviews directly on Indeed. Give yourself at least 20 minutes. And also, don't even bother going into an interview without researching the place that you've applied to. If you applied to, let's say, the CDC, make sure you reread the job description of the CDC. Make sure you know what the company is about, its mission statement, and the actual job you're looking for. Make sure you reread the job description so you know exactly what you're applying for and exactly what they're looking for. Make sure you know how to answer. Tell me about yourself. Make sure you know how to answer. What is one of your greatest weaknesses? What is some of your greatest strengths? And make sure you know your resume, your cover letter, and your application like the back of your hand. So I just also wanted to put this in here that when I did not have any experience at all, before I even got a paid internship, I had to apply to over 350 internships. I submitted over 350 internship applications. I did trial and error. I created over 15 different types of resumes using like 20 different types of templates. So, with that being said, it is going to take time. And let me tell you something, even though I've had so much experience with applying for internships, interviewing for internships, doing all those things, I still have to apply to a whole bunch of internships. Like, that doesn't change. Like, I'm definitely not applying to as many as I did in the beginning with the experience that I have and the knowledge that I have. But I still do apply to a lot of internships. Like even during an internship, I still apply to all of this extra stuff. So I just want to let you know that even if you have if an internship or you've had experience before, you don't have any experience before, you are still going to have to apply to a lot of internships to find internships. So don't think, oh my gosh, it's been so long, I haven't heard back. Sometimes companies will ghost you and you will not hear back from that company at all. You can have a dream internship, but do not rely on one internship at a time. That's why I tell people apply, 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 apply. And after a while, you feel like, okay, this is ridiculous. I've been applying for so long and I still haven't gotten anything. Change up something about your application. If you're submitting the exact same application for every single thing that you apply to, something must be wrong there. Like I mentioned, I changed my resume over like 15 times. The thing is, you don't have to figure it all right now. You can definitely figure it out as you go. Don't be afraid to be seen trying. Just start. That's what I have to tell you. Just start. You have no experience. You could literally just not have done anything. Try your best. Do what you got to do. You got this. So if this video helped you in any way, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps my channel and it helps me to continue to give you guys content like this. Make sure you don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to constantly be posting all the tips I've learned over the years on this channel.